Alright guys, I'm back with my review of this week's WWE Friday Night Smackdown for December 28th, 2012. And this show, personally, I thought it was kind of boring. Same old stuff. There was a few things I liked. Brad Maddox was good. Big Show was funny, trying to get out of his title match. Miz vs. Dolph was okay. But other than that, nothing really special here. The usual. And SmackDown's been that way for a while now, and they really need to do something for this show because I know a lot of people don't even watch it anymore. And it's not that SmackDown's a bad show. It can be entertaining, but these past few weeks it's just been the same old crap. And I actually heard that The Rock is scheduled for some appearances in January, some Raws of course, but I actually heard he was supposed to be at a SmackDown, so I'm just hoping they go all out for that show, have The Rock come out, maybe have CM Punk, Cena there, and we get at least a good SmackDown in January. But yeah, it's the usual. Nothing else to say, really. So, the show starts off with Sheamus, and he's talking about his Christmas and how he beat Big Show on Raw. And he says his New Year's resolution is to become world champion, but he doesn't want to wait, so he calls out Big Show. And Big Show says, when Sheamus beat him on Raw, he was already in his Christmas vacation mode, so that victory doesn't count. And he refuses to give him another title shot, so Sheamus just wants to fight him. And Booker T comes out, and Big Show says no one in the locker room is worthy of a title shot. They're all losers, they're all rejects. So Booker says that he's going to put their names in the tumbler, draw a name, that's who's going to face Sheamus later tonight, or face Big Show later tonight for the title. So all the wrestlers come out, and they have the tumbler out there, and I noticed all the heels stand on one side, including Del Rio, which was kind of weird. He was standing with the heels because it's obvious they're trying to make him a babyface. They even did it on this show. But all the heels stood together, and he draws the name, and it's Santino Marella. So Santino's all excited at first, and then Big Show comes up, and Santino looks at him, and then he asks Booker, "Are you sure it didn't say Tito Santana?" So that was pretty funny, but yeah, the big main event's supposed to be Santino versus Big Show. Of course, there's going to be shenanigans. First match is Primo versus Brodus Clay. Brodus wins with a splash, even though Epico kept trying to interfere. Afterwards, Rosa gets in his face, and the Funkadactyl suplexer. Sheamus tries to teach Santino the brogue kick. Santino ends up pulling a hamstring, so he's out. Rhodes Scholars and Wade Barrett versus Kofi and Team Hell No. Typical tag match here, nothing special at all. It's not that I don't like these guys, but what is this? It's nothing. It means nothing, and who cares? So Kofi hits Trouble in Paradise on Cody. Wade Barrett hits him with the Bullhammer for the win. That was it. Big Show's happy that Santino can't compete, so he thinks he's going to get the night off. And Booker says, no, I'm going to draw another name. This time it's Ricardo Rodriguez. So Ricardo comes up, and Big Show puts the title on him and tells him to announce himself the new champion. So Ricardo does this, and Big Show just knocks him out and starts laughing. This was actually pretty funny. Zack Ryder versus Antonio Cesaro. Apparently the Great Khali won a U.S. title shot, which he's going to get on Main Event. That should be exciting. But Cesaro wins with a neutralizer. Miz versus Dolph with AJ and Big E Langston. This was an okay match. Nothing really special here. I kind of thought this one would be the best match of the night, and it probably was the best match of the night, but that's not saying much on this show. In fact, there was this one spot where Miz throws Dolph over the top rope, and Big E Langston was clearly supposed to catch him, and I don't know, maybe sit him down or put him back in the ring, and he just kind of falls onto Big E. And it looked like Dolph tried to save the spot and put his leg up put his leg up on Big E, so it looked like he caught him, but it just looks like they're hugging is what it ended up looking like. So shitty spot here. I'm sure Vince Vince probably doesn't even watch SmackDown anymore, so whoever was backstage probably wasn't too happy about this, but Miz gets ready for the skull-crushing finale, and he blows a kiss to AJ. So Big E runs up the steps. This distracts Miz. Dolph hits the zigzag for the win. He couldn't even beat Miz clean. And then it gets worse. Afterwards, Miz tells AJ that no matter what superstar she's with, on New Year's Eve, it will end in a bang. So Dolph runs into the ring, and Miz hits him with the microphone. Even though he just got laid out with his finishing move, Miz still has enough energy to brawl with Dolph. So Dolph looked really bad here, in my opinion, and Big E runs out, saves Dolph again, and lays out Miz. Let's see here. Booker's checking on Ricardo. This was really funny. Ricardo is laid out because of the knockout punch. And if you've ever seen that movie, I think it's called Yes Man with Jim Carrey, where he has this vision of what his life would be like if he just stays home all the time and he never goes out with his friends and he kind of just dies lonely. And he has this dream and his friends come and they check on him and he's laid out like that. That's exactly what Ricardo looked like here. And Booker T is checking on him. He's freaking out about this. And then Brad Maddox comes up and he looks at Ricardo like it's a shame. And he tells Booker he wants another shot. So Booker's pissed and he says, "No, man." But Brad Maddox says, "Book, I want one more chance. Now can you dig that, sucker?" This was awesome. So Booker says you get one last chance. This was very Drew McIntyre, Teddy Long, that horrible angle they did where Teddy Long kept saying Drew McIntyre was fired, yet he kept coming back every single week. But he gives him one last shot. Del Rio runs in and says he's going to open Big Show like a piñata, and Booker puts him in the championship match. So that's it. He didn't draw a name, nothing. He just decides it's going to be Del Rio. I guess it's not as predictable as Sheamus, but still, is this really exciting? And Maddox comes out and says his resolution is to become a WWE superstar, and his opponent is Sheamus. Sheamus wins with a bro kick. Usos versus the Primetime Players. Usos win with a small package on Darren Young. Very short. Another Shield promo. This one was really goofy. They're talking about how they're going to cleanse the injustice in WWE in 2013. They did that whole shaky camera, the footage keeps getting cut, and the best part about this was Dean Ambrose's hair, because it keeps like skipping. His hair was like over here, and then it was over here, and it kept just like jumping back and forth while they cut this promo. So it looked really goofy. Big Show says that this is ridiculous, but he will knock out Del Rio. And it's Big Show versus Del Rio. Del Rio goes for the armbar, but Big Show's too big. He throws him out of the ring. He goes to leave. Sheamus runs out to stop him. Ref rings the bell. Big Show fights off Sheamus. He continues to leave. And then the rest of the locker room comes out because Big Show called them losers and rejects and all that. And they throw him back in the ring where Del Rio kicks him in the face and Sheamus bro kicks him. That's how the show ended. So, still trying to put Del Rio over as a babyface in the absolute worst way possible by still trying to make him look like a heel at the same time. This is, what, 3 weeks now, and he still hasn't had a full turn yet. Just really shitty booking. But yeah, that was SmackDown this week. A pretty boring show, I thought. Stuff we've seen. We've seen it all before, and hopefully they step this up for January when they're starting the build towards Royal Rumble. But yeah, this, I know a lot of people quit watching it. I'm not going to quit watching it, but yeah, it's just some weeks it's a pain in the ass to watch this show. But anyways, that's my review of this week's show. Hope you guys liked the video. Leave your thoughts on this week's show in the comments, and thanks for watching.